It's time for What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. Here's your host, Phil MacDougall.
Hello, Reno. This is Phil MacDougall, your host, and this show is made possible by the National Automobile Museum. Word of the day is Leno. So don't forget. So if you go down to the museum today or tomorrow at the National Automobile Museum and you say Leno, and I'll tell you why, the significance of that, the first 20 people that says that when they buy their ticket is going to get 50% off. So if you're going down to the museum today or tomorrow, say Leno before you buy your tickets, get 50% off. I also want to remind everybody, if you haven't been to the National Automobile Museum, come down and visit us. We have a new exhibit every 60 days. People go, oh, no. I was there 5 years ago. I was there at my prom. I go, no, it changes all the time. Every 60 days, we have something new. We have 250 amazing automobiles. They're showcasing the evolution of automobiles. We have a 3,000 square foot interactive children's activity center, and all the families and moms groups all come down and utilize that almost every day. A private movie theater. We built a full outdoor pavilion, 16,000 square feet on the Truckee River, 10 feet away. We have outdoor concerts. We got to get into a lot of that. But I want to remind you, we were voted by USA Today as the 5th best automobile museum in the entire country. And it's right in your backyard. So I encourage you to come down and support us. We are a 501c3 and learn as much as you can about what we have to offer and take advantage from birthday parties to cars to celebrations of life. You name it, we will do it. All right, enough for the infomercial. I want to jump right in. I'm excited. We have a great selection of guests here today. We're going to kick it off with Dean and Sara Biggs, and they are the owners of the Spanish Springs Grocery Outlet. Did I get that right?
Yes, and the Lemon Valley Grocery Outlet as well.
Lemon Valley. Thank you. I stand corrected. Thank you very much for coming to the show today. If we could, we always kind of start off by saying what your first car was, and if there's a G-rated story that you would like to share, that is optional with our listeners.
All right, my, I think the year was 1982, a Buick LeSabre. So big boat, protect you from any, right, accident.
Safe, you're safe.
Very, very safe. I don't have any fun stories. I know it was really hard to park.
Hard to park and just great on gas, I bet.
Absolutely.
What about you, Dean? First car, do you remember? Everyone remembers their first car.
Of course. Mine was a 1972 Mercury Montego. One story I had with that is I was in French class in high school, and the car, it was a tank. The thing was huge, kind of probably bigger than the LeSabre even. And we decided to do a little skit for French class as Dukes of Hazzard because this thing was so big, kind of, except it was not orange, it was silver. Okay. And we did that, and I decided to try to do the Dukes of Hazzard thing and skid, and I ended up skidding through some barbed wire, and it had a vinyl top, and I ripped it all apart, and was not very fun. So that's my story. Fun story with that.
Was it worth it?
It was worth it.
I made for some good stories. What, 30 years later, we're still talking about it.
We are still talking about it. I know one time I went skidding on some ice. We lived in Omaha, Nebraska, is where we're originally from, and I had a friend who actually, there weren't a lot of seatbelts necessarily back in the day.
No, nobody used them back then.
He actually went and ducked underneath the front console. That's how big it was underneath there, because he got scared and went underneath there. So, and speaking of gas mileage, I know that mine got about 5 miles a gallon. Had glass packs too, so that thing was loud.
Yeah, but back then gas was what, like 79 cents a gallon, so it's changed a lot. Most people remember their first cars. Almost everybody does immediately. Almost everybody says at some point that I wish I could find it again, just like you. I wish I could have that first car, but it brought us freedom, independence, and it was always a bargaining chip with my parents. All right, so I know you for years now since I moved to the area. You guys are everywhere. You're great community partners. I can't think of an event that I haven't seen that you guys haven't supported. So tell us, how did you get to where you are now? Was it always this passion to go into this business, or did you have 5 or 6 different careers before you got into this? This is your life.
Yeah.
Share it with us.
This is our life, for sure. We're grocers for life. We both started when we were 16 years old, back in the Midwest in Omaha, Nebraska, and Albertsons grocery stores before they went out of business. And so we've always been in retail. we met at Albertsons many years ago.
Is it one of those stories that you were in the fruit or the vegetable section? You both looked across the aisle and saw each other, and just the bells and whistles went off, fireworks?
A little bit. A
Sounds
little
better
bit.
when I say it like that. Oh, so I can tell there's a story. I can listen. There's nobody listening.
Yeah,
just
no.
us. So just between us. Tell us how.
Well, managers are not supposed to be fraternizing with
I see
the
where
help.
this
So
is.
that's kind of how that worked.
So who was the boss?
Dean was the boss. Yep.
Dean.
So
that's how you met.
That's how we met. And then we got married and had kids, and still was in the business. I stayed home with my children. Our children, we have 4 children. I stayed home for 10 years with them and took a break. And Dean just kept moving on with retail, and he can tell a little bit of his story and then how we came here to Grocery Outlet.
Yeah. How'd you get here? And tell us a little bit about how Grocery Outlet got started with you.
Yeah, so as Sarah mentioned, right, we've been in retail, so worked at Albertsons for a long time, worked way up to store director. Sarah worked her way up to store or department management, and then, we moved around, and then they left, Albertsons left in 2004, Omaha, Nebraska, so ended up working for Kroger's for a short time. That's who bought the store, but then I went to Lowe's Home Improvement for about 7 or 8 years. Ended up moving around, went to Peoria, Illinois, and then St. Louis, Missouri, and same thing. Everyone always kind of goes, how do you change from, your grocery to home improvement? I go, well, it's selling, instead of pork and beans, bricks and sticks.
There you go.
And so it's, it's still all about customer service. It's all about, making a presentable store, clean store, all kinds of stuff like that. And, in working for those 2 huge retailers, you kind of learn about what you'd want to do, right? Sometimes you have directives from the company you got to be able to follow, and people ask for donations and things like that. And so kind of heard about the Grocery Outlet, found it online, and go to apply and go. They're only in California and Washington, Oregon, Nevada, a few stores only in Nevada at that point in time, Idaho, and go, okay. And we debated and applied and came out and interviewed and kind of fell in love. And every single owner operator who we spoke with loved the company. And the great part about it is it's each individual store is owned and operated by someone different. However, we're underneath the umbrella of Grocery Outlet, so it's kind of like a franchise, but it's a licensee is what it is. And so it's very similar to that. But we can kind of do what we want to do in our stores as far as displaying what and where to put things and how to the scheduling and the marketing and all kinds of things like that. So
and you guys are awfully good at it. I follow you. I watch it. It makes me smile every time I see the different outfits or the promotions. And I see your son getting involved now. So you have a location in Spanish Springs and
Lemon Valley.
And how long have you had those?
So we had Lemon Valley's almost 13 years now, and Spanish Springs is 8 years. So, they keep us quite busy. Retail's always a challenge, and just with keeping employees and keeping it filled and things like COVID a few years ago was definitely a challenge and definitely an interesting time as far as that's concerned. So, but the great part is we are always giving hugs to customers. We're seeing people, regulars, and things like that. We love that, and then kind of going back to the giving back. It's one thing with the big corporations, you have to kind of go to the corporate office or this and that, whereas here we can make the decisions, and we've donated to probably thousands of groups over the 13 years.
I think
between
that's
both
how
stores.
I probably met you. I think when I was with Win and I met you, probably asked you for a donation at something, at one of the golf tournaments that we put on.
Yeah.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah.
I believe that's correct. So, so we donate to well over 100, 150 different places, lots of different schools and Hot August nights and the Reno Rodeo and Automobile Museum. We've done some things with you as well. So
very great.
Lots of great things. We love being involved with the community.
So talk a little bit more about just some of the things that you guys do. Tell me about what you guys like to do if you have any time, and is there a particular organization or passion that you just really want the people who are listening to us today. China's not online yet, right?
No, not yet.
So
Almost.
we're only to 1 million. We'll be up to 2 billion in a couple of minutes when China comes on. But tell us, what's something you want to convey? Either literally just say surprising things that people don't know about your business, because you always have to stay relevant. You're always coming up with deals. But you just said something that stuck with me. If there's one thing I knew about you, is your personalities. You're out there, very friendly. It's not a transactional. It's a friendship kind of thing. That goes a long way, especially in this town.
Yeah, so we really want people to know we're local, right? We still get customers every day that are like, I need to talk to your corporate office about an issue. And we're like, no, I'm right here. I can help you solve any issue. And one of the things that really drew us when we came to Reno and Sparks area is that the schools have been, some of the schools get great funding. Some of them don't get a lot of funding. And so that is our focus. We had 4 young kids. Kids is our big deal, and so we're in the schools. We're donating. We're supporting those teachers. Teacher appreciation. We're giving out snacks and helping them, and so that was the first driver of getting into the community. And then it just snowballed into.
Well, it's an important one. I mean, to me, there's no better asset is that our youth. And I'm just shocked in the public schools. My wife is a teacher. My daughter-in-law is a teacher. They don't have the tools or the funds to do even some of the little tchotchke things.
Yep.
Pencils and extra stuff. They're always running out.
Yeah. Well, and then when they're doing runs for their students to get them healthy, they need snacks or
healthy snacks,
oranges or bananas, water. We've done all of those things for the community. And so we want people to know that we're in the grind with them. We're in the stores, we're working, and we're there supporting any way we can to the best of our ability, right? Sure. And so we enjoy doing that. And we enjoy being out in the community, seeing people we know. Dean was just at a basketball game the other night, and 3 customers came up to him, hey, what's going on? And so that's the beauty also, is that community. We are the little big city, right? We are little.
Yeah, I learned that right away.
Yeah.
What did someone tell me? Phil, just understand that you meet somebody and you're in a room. You're either, you work with them, they're dating somebody you know, they're related to someone you know, or they're divorced from someone you know. But obviously, like, everyone in this room knows somebody pretty quickly. It is a small little town. Mm-hmm. That's why reputation is so important. Yep. And I'm proud to know you guys. I'm grateful for everything you do. But your reputation, that's why people walk up to you and say, hey, how are you at the basketball games? Mm-hmm. You got a great reputation. In the time we have left, what was the one thing you want to share with our listeners today about you, your business, or anything that's coming up? You have something special you want to share with them?
Well, so you kind of asked, what do you want people to know about us? And a couple of things. Sarah mentioned about being local, but also that we can save people a lot of money at Grocery Outlet. We get things what we call opportunistically, meaning manufacturers have overstock on goods, package changes, discontinued items, and different things like that. And so, especially in today's economy, we can save people a whole lot of money. We are local. We support lots of different things. The other thing we do is we like to have fun. You alluded on that, but that we have gotten to be known. We like to dress up. So follow us at Spanish Springs or Lemon Valley Grocery Outlet, Facebook or Instagram, and you'll see us. St. Patrick's Day is around the corner. You'll be seeing us in some awesome green St. Patrick's Day outfits.
Phil, it's not me. It's Dean. He's the driving force. He's the fashionista.
You're the one who picks out all the outfits.
Yep, just want to have some fun.
No, I love it. But I just showed you a little video before we went on the air here, and I said I put it up there just to have fun, and I took it down like an hour later. My family goes, no, I'm going to put it back up because to me, if I can make someone smile at my expense, I don't care. Mm-hmm. It's fun. Yeah. And I love when you guys do that because you have a great personality and you're a local business. You want to save money. You want to support a local business. You support everyone else in this community. I want our listeners to come out and support you as well. So your locations, again, for people who aren't familiar with it.
Yes, we're in Spanish Springs at 1300 Disc Drive in Sparks, and then also 200 Lemon Drive in Reno out in Lemon Valley.
Thank you very much for coming on the show, and I appreciate everything you do.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in a minute.
We'll be back with more What Drives Reno on 1060 AM KFOY, Radio for America.
I'm having my birthday at the National Automobile Museum. They have this cool birthday zone with Mater and Lightning McQueen. And their brand new Children's Activity Center has fun games like Junior Engineering Studio, Lego Building, an interactive car wash, and a lot more too. They even have a theater where we can watch a movie or play Mario Kart. I even get my own birthday t-shirt.
Book your child's ultimate birthday party today at the National Automobile Museum. Visit automuseum.org/events.
We're back with more What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. And now here's your host, Phil MacDougall.
All right, welcome back, Reno. Earlier, I shared with you the word of the day was Leno, and the first 20 people that come in and say Leno before they buy their tickets to the National Automobile Museum, they're going to get 50% off. So don't forget, word of the day is Leno. Why did I come up with Leno? Because I am really excited. I was invited to come down, or the museum was invited to come back down to do Jay Leno's Garage, and I'm going to be leaving this next week to do a show. This will be the fourth time we've been invited down to do a show with him in 4 years. This will be a third show in 2 years. So, I mean, we've really done a lot. We're very, very grateful. We're going to take him down our 1938 Phantom Corsair.
Wow.
Experimental. A lot of people believe that the Batmobile concept kind of came from this creation, and there's a whole story that goes back with that. Really, really sad. A lot of adventure. It sounds like truly it's going to be like a 60-minute episode. We're trying to get all the information out there for you to listen to, but stay tuned for more details. Very excited. The National Automobile Museum is going to be highlighted in Jay Leno's Garage again next week. As soon as we have the air date, we'll share with you. Very, very fortunate to be invited back down to represent the National Automobile Museum. All right, with that said, I want to remind you of a couple of big events that are coming up before we get together with our next guest. So, events that are coming up. Today only at the National Automobile Museum, we have the Mystery Machine, and you're going to get a chance to go down and sit in the Mystery Machine between 12, right after this show. Don't leave our show early, 12 and 2 o'clock here today on Saturday. And we're going to have, now I forgot all these names, but I grew up, Terry, watching this cartoon. Scooby and Shaggy and Velma and Fred and Daphne.
Yep, that's right.
Sounds like I should say, oh my. They're all
occasionally Scrappy do as well.
Yes, we're going to have them there. They're going to take some pictures with some of the characters in the actual Mystery Machine. Don't forget, the couple of days later, on March 3rd, we have Governor Lombardo. He's coming back for a town hall meeting. People are wondering, what are we doing? We have a speaker series. We're bringing people in. We have the venue to do it. So 200 people, and there's probably about 30 tickets left, are going to be down here at the National Automobile Museum listening to Mr. Lombardo, or Governor Lombardo, talk about things that are important to all of us. If you live in Nevada, you want to come down and learn a little bit more about that. A few days ago, we opened up our podcast studio. So audio and visual, we had the ribbon cutting. So if you always wanted to be on the radio, you wanted to go have your own TV show, and you're saying, oh my God, I got to be better than MacDougall. I'm sorry, you're right. You're right.
No.
But if you said you see someone on TV, you just have a dream or a passion, something you just want to talk about, anything from your family to your business to your charity of choice, come on down. We'd like to talk with you about that. It's audio and visual opportunities as well. And then we just announced 2 weeks ago our summer concert series, and this is our third year, and it's growing. We sell out every year. It's outside. You bring your lawn chair on the river right next to the museum, and we have some great tribute bands. We have Jimmy Buffett tribute band, the Eagles, CC&R, and the Beatles. I mean, you're going to know every one of those songs. You're going to take you back in time. Everyone is dancing. Everyone's having a good time. And we encourage you to go on automuseum.org to reserve your tickets. We even have some special deals. But I forgot to mention, if you are coming down to the museum to do the Mystery Machine, if you're a member, it's free. All those things I just talked about, it's a member. All the concerts, every one of our members gets a discount. So take advantage of it and come on down and support the museum. We are a 501c3. Okay, next. Much more important information here to share with you. Hot off the press. Breaking news. We have who? We have David Schnepp, and he is with First Choice Automotive and Restoration. Did I say that right,
yes,
David?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I said it really fast in case I didn't.
That's okay.
But I want to thank you for coming back on the show. And again, one of the nicest guys I've ever met in this town. You're part of so many different organizations. Hot August Nights. But we're here to talk about Your singing career?
No. Please, no.
Dancing career?
No, definitely not that. I got some moves, but not enough to
Terry,
have a
I got the wrong notes.
Wow.
We're here to talk to David about drag racing.
Yes,
correct?
Sir. Yes, sir.
All right, because the third one I was out if I didn't get it. So I want people to understand what is in their backyards. I always say the National Automobile Museum is in your backyard. How could you not know about it? It's number 5 best automobile museums in the country. Drag racing is right here during Holidays nights, but there's a whole following, a bunch of passionate people all year long.
Yes, sir.
Dave, tell us about you. Before you do that, tell me about your first car.
My first car was a 57 Chevy 1-ton tow truck.
Wow.
True story.
Terry, the very first person that said tow truck was their first car.
Yep. True story. So my parents bought it in 1983. We had it in our family. My dad owned a Bel Air Auto Body in Portland, Oregon, did 55 through 57 Chevy restorations, bought it for the shop. And when we moved, that was in Portland. We moved here in 1988, and I needed to get our first car. I had money saved, and we were trying to sell the truck. So I told my dad, why not? So we actually had search and rescue here, Sheriff Search and Rescue. They pulled the bed off of it for us, and I made a pickup out of it. So I went to Pick and Pull. It just opened, 1991. They just opened up. We went down, bought a pickup bed, 2 sets of fenders, grafted them together, and it was a pickup.
Wow.
And I drove that to high school, and I had that up until 2002.
God, don't you wish you had stock in Pick and Pull now if you just know back then?
Oh, man.
Lord.
Yes,
if
sir.
I could have. And what happened to it?
I ended up selling it to a guy locally who sold it in Holidays Nights the next year auction for what he paid for it from me, $8,500. So yeah, that was my first vehicle.
All right, so let's get into drag racing. And if you want to give a plug to your company, who's one of our partners, you can do that plug as well.
Absolutely. I'm one of 3 partners in First Choice Automotive. We're over off of Marietta Way, 850 Marietta Way. Phone number is 775-359-0997. We do both restorations of old vehicles. We work on everything from 1911 to 2026. Everything in between.
A lot of our cars.
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff exclusively just for the museum. We do a lot of restorations, but we also do the modern side. We do everything from engine swaps to transmission replacements to engine repair. We build our own engines in-house. I do that. We have engines machined, but I design and build all my own engines for customers. There's not a whole lot that we don't do.
There's nothing you can't do.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I can fix anything but a broken heart. How's that?
See, what they don't... That was good. I was going to go down a different other way. All right, good. All right, talk to us about drag racing. What do people need to know that, whether we like it or not, there's a lot of people moving in and out of town.
100%.
And a lot of people had no idea about Holidays Nights. They don't know about drag racing. They don't know about a lot of things. What would you like them to know?
So first things first, drag racing in Nevada, in northern Nevada, there's 2 tracks. A lot of people don't know there's one in Winnemucca called Good Times Drag Strip, who holds 4 or 5 races a year, which is pretty neat. It's kind of a mom and pop operation, but it's amazing. The people out there welcome you with open arms. The pit area is amazing. It's just sweltering in the heat, but it's just a great time. Good Times Drag Strip, obviously. There's also one in Fallon, Nevada, just towards Schurz. If you go to 95 and head towards Vegas, just before you get to Schurz and go over the hill, it's on the right-hand side in the mountainside. It's called Top Gun Drag Strip. That's been around since 1995. April of 95 was the first race that was held there. I was there for that. We've raced there. We're one of 10 families that still race there that were there on opening day, which is kind of an elite group. That was pretty neat. We also had the drag races down at the Nugget during Holidays Nights. Pretty neat deal. The 8th mile, it's an 8th mile drag strip in Winnemucca. It's a full quarter-mile drag strip in Fallon, and at the Nugget, it's only a 16th of a mile, 330 feet. So we got a wide range of things, cost-wise. It's about driving the 3 hours to go to Winnemucca from Reno, or the hour and 40 minutes to Top Gun. It's whatever you want to do. But they both have websites online that have their schedules. So if you have any questions about that or want to get a hold of a schedule, just go online. You can print it. They have a PDF form to print, or you can just look at it online and set up your plans accordingly.
Yeah, so for people who aren't familiar with it, walk us through what goes into that.
What's that?
Just drag racing in general.
Drag racing in
How
general.
fast are you going? Everyone's a little bit different. Talk about the engines. Talk about the excitement, the roar. And if you don't, I'm going to get into the dancing and stuff.
Oh, man. So, the sounds, the sights, and the smells are unlike anything you could ever go to. There's no amusement park in the world, anything like that could ever recreate what's there, especially at night. just the aura of the people, the camaraderie is something that you don't find in baseball, football, soccer, any of those, traditional sports. The camaraderie in racing, no matter what kind of racing, whether it be drag racing, sprint cars in a dirt track or an oval track and, Kevin Harvick's Bakersfield Raceway, any of those, the camaraderie across automotive motorsports is unlike anything else you've ever seen in your life. Mm-hmm. They're all neighbors and you're all just there to help each other. For the most part, there's always a couple, but in the end of the day, if you break something, the guy even in your class is there to help you get running to go make the field so we have a car count.
No,
right?
that's
It's no
great.
fun.
That's great.
Not any fun to race by yourself, right? I mean, what good is that?
It's fun competitiveness, right?
100%.
Yeah,
right?
they want to win. I'm sure
and it's
you're
a
very
family
competitive.
sport. That's my other big thing. It's a family sport. I have 6 children, and all throughout my racing career, from 1991 all the way up until now, we still race today. It's a family-oriented sport. You can take your kids with you in the pit area, and they can be with you 100% of the time. And the sounds, if you like anything loud engine-wise, and the paint schemes on the cars and the flashiness of all that, and you have a wide range of people driving these cars. I've seen people as old as 90 driving a car, and people as young as 15. Now, you also have junior dragsters, which are Briggs & Stratton 6-horse engines, in a little car that looks like a top fuel dragster, wings and everything, but they only run 1/8 mile. Well, it's funny. You get these kids that have gone through the ranks. You can start at age 5, if you believe that.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
5?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you go up the ranks. These kids now are 13, 14 driving full-size cars, and they call junior street. Well, these are only basically for kids that have come up through the ranks, even though they're not of age to drive and have a driver's license. At the end of the day, they'll let them drive because they've got experience driving a car. It's not... they understand the rules and all that stuff. So it's pretty neat. When I mean family, I mean everybody can get involved. When I was growing up, right before we moved here in 1987, there was a guy in Woodburn, Oregon, which is where we used to race when I was a kid.
I know Woodburn.
Yeah. Yep. So we raced there. I grew up racing there with my family.
It's a great track up there.
It's amazing. And the Livingstons just sold it to Joey Severance, who was a top alcohol dragster driver. He actually now owns it, but it was family owned since 1961.
So what are some of the things that you think, if you had to convey to someone listening today and said they're interested, pick one thing that's maybe the best, I'll say misconception?
But yeah, I will tell you, one of my first things is that women can't drive. And that's ironic, right? Because, it's always been a man's sport. But ironically enough, there's plenty of women out there that whoop our butts. It's the truth. And it's enjoyable. They're not pompous. They're not egotistical. They're just out there having fun like the rest of us. But
That's
it's
great.
neat. It's neat to see the diversity of people out there riding.
So you mentioned camaraderie. I think that's one of the best parts about it, especially as you get older. You get someone who has a common passion or just something you just love to do together. I love that part when you just mentioned earlier, something breaks down, they all get together, get you going, get you out there to compete.
Correct.
A lot of different sports organizations it's just the opposite. It's like every person for themselves.
Correct.
So a big part of it, maybe people didn't realize that a lot of women are racing. Mm-hmm. Anything else that jumps out at you?
The neat thing for us is we can teach some of the younger kids coming up how to do this, how to work the lighting system, how to, what things mean, like deep stage or just stage and pre-stage, and how the lights on the tree work. The tree is the tree is the lighting system that it has 3 ambers, a green, and a red. And that's how you go, is when the light turns green, you go. Well, the irony part of that is it's not when it turns green. You have to anticipate the green to come on. So the green's not even on, and then you go. Because your reaction time is the distance between the time you let off the brake, hit the gas, and cross the line right as it turns green. So it's a constant game. It's fun. It's interesting. Yes, sir.
Yeah. No,
Yes, sir.
I don't want to ask any more questions because I'll just be I'm so layman's terms on all this. All the things you guys have talked about, it's something that I think people should know. It's available to them.
Yep.
I think it's something that people have questions about it. Where do they want to go? If people want to learn more.
You can learn
personal
more
cell
going on
phone number?
HonegusKnights.org, I believe it is. The website, Honegust Knights. The other thing is, too, is it...
.net. I think it's .net.
Is it .net?
Yeah.
Okay. And then on top of that, the Nugget venue is open the July 31st and the 1st, which is a Friday night, Saturday night. And then we close for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we're open again on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday the next weekend. Mm-hmm. So the first weekend, we have a burnout contest on Saturday night. It's a $1,000 purse. We pay first and second. enough to cover some tires, basically. Also with that is a local car club in Reno called Wicked Ways, Lowrider Club. They will be doing, they do a stationary exhibit, and then they're going to go do exhibition runs down the track, you know, jumping around and all that stuff. Pretty cool.
With the hydraulics and bouncing.
Pretty neat. And then on the next weekend, we have what we call our pro cars, which is guys that race locally at Top Gun in both Winnemucca and Fallon. And those cars, generally those cars run usually 10-0 at 135 and a quarter mile. They're all, almost all of them are all licensed, registered, legit street cars that just race, and they're just that quick. Myself is one of those. We also have my dad's car, which is a 64 Buick Special Convertible. It's purple. My sister drives up from Dallas every year to drive it in my dad's honor. And then I have a Vega, 72 Vega. And then we've got some friends that race with us. There's 4 or 5 other ones.
So it's a family event.
It's 100% a family
event.
affair. Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing. Anything else you want to share with people before we wrap up here?
No,
racing in particular?
No, I'm just an avid, passionate racing fan first and foremost.
You can tell. You got
and
the energy.
I love it. It's been a passion of mine since I was a kid. It's all I know. I don't know IT. I don't know, very much with woodworking. I don't know. I mean, I can weld and all those things, but cars is my thing, It doesn't bother me to go to work anymore. It doesn't, because I love what I do.
No, that's great.
It doesn't get me
and people could see you've been smiling the whole time just talking about it.
100%.
Oh, it's good. Dave, thanks very much. Thanks for everything you do in the community. Thank you very much for being a good partner with the National Automobile Museum. We're going to take a quick break, and I know everyone is just on the edge of their seats because they want to know about my sympathy laughs and the meaningless facts that I'll be sharing when we come back.
We'll be back with more What Drives Reno on 1060 AM KFOY, Radio for America.
Looking for a venue for your next event? The National Automobile Museum can host any event in a variety of venues to choose from. Have an awards ceremony in the 157-seat theater, or select one of several themed galleries for a business luncheon or banquet. Guests will love the 16,000-square-foot Riverside Pavilion, complete with outdoor bar, heaters, and fire pits. Everything you need, including chairs, linens, staging, and AV equipment, are also available. Go to automuseum.org for details.
We're back with more What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. And now here's your host, Phil MacDougall.
Welcome back, Reno. This is Phil MacDougall, and you're on What Drives Reno, made possible by the National Automobile Museum. Our next guest is Bridget Posson, and she is the Executive Director at American Red Cross in Nevada. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Tell me, if you don't mind, tell me what your first car was, and if you have a story. It's kind of a tradition with us to break the ice.
Yes, my first car was a 1991 Honda Accord that I purchased from my father, and I actually have a kind of a neat story that goes along with it because I had it for several years. It was a manual. I took care of it, and when I was about 21, I wasn't living with my parents anymore, so I went home for the holidays, and my mom sent me to the store, and I went in to get some bread. I was in the store for like 2 to 3 minutes, very short amount of time. I remember parking the car in the parking lot.
I can tell where this is going.
And went in, came out, the car was gone.
I was just going to say, a very popular car for thieves.
So, and I remember parking it. Nobody else was around me. There weren't other cars on either side. And there was this other red Honda Civic, I think it was. And I was like, that's weird. There's something here. So I didn't have a cell phone or anything. So I went in and called my parents on a payphone. I was like, the car is gone. And they pushed back a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure it's not there, right? And then I called the police, so I was waiting for everyone to come to the store so I could file the report and get a ride home. And that red car was still there. And I said, there's something suspicious about this. Run the plates. No, it wasn't reported stolen or anything. So anyways, filed the report. I went, and my parents had to take me back to where I was working because I didn't have transportation at that point. And my dad drove by that parking lot on the way to work every day, and that car was still there. And I called the police again and just said, "Can you run those plates again? It's connected." And sure enough, at that point, it was reported stolen, and it was involved in a homicide.
Whoa!
Yes.
So they stole a car, then they switched cars and stole yours.
Yep. And it's like, wow, that is creepy and scary. And then about 2 weeks after that, the Yuba City sheriff calls me and says, "Oh, we've located your car. Why don't you come pick it up?" And I was like, "Well, can it even drive at this point?" And they were like, "Well, we don't know." I was like, "Well, let's tow it back to my mechanic then," because that was like hours away from where I lived. And sure enough, yeah, it was destroyed. There was garbage in it, and
it was lived in. Possibly.
It was not a clean thief.
It was not a clean thief,
or a convicted murderer.
Well, they destroyed the axle, so it was totaled at that point as well. And then I later found out that the person who stole it was found in Oregon, and they were involved in a homicide.
Wow.
So,
yeah, well, it's scary how close they were to you.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a first.
There we go.
A stolen car and a homicide tied in.
Yes.
Stay tuned next week as we continue.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the show?
Yeah, other than that. Well, Bridget, thanks for sharing that with us. Thanks for coming on the show. I just want to give you a few minutes to talk about what you do and remind people how important it is to our community.
Sure, yeah. So I am the executive director here of the Northern Nevada Red Cross. We serve the 12 northern counties of Nevada, including and Carson City. We have a Southern Nevada chapter as well down there. And our mission at the Red Cross is to alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies. So oftentimes when I'm talking to folks, I say, "Hey, what do you know about the Red Cross?" And I hear CPR first aid training and big national disasters. And yes, that is true. We do life-saving training like CPR first aid, AED, and lots of other types of training. And we are the disaster people. So we are called upon. We have a congressional charter to serve in times of disaster. But the most common disaster that we respond to are home fires. Here in Northern Nevada, we have a team called the Disaster Action Team. They are volunteers. We're about 90% volunteer workforce, so a very small amount of paid staff here in Northern Nevada, including myself. But we work with some amazing volunteers and folks that just want to help people. One of those opportunities for our volunteers is to be part of the Disaster Action Team. So they sign up for shifts. We have people on call 24/7, 365 days a year, and we work closely with fire departments, and we hope that fire departments will let folks know, if they've experienced a home fire or a flood, any kind of disaster situation, you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS.
See, I wouldn't have known that. So walk me through that. What triggers the phone call and by who to American Red Cross?
Anybody can call 1-800-RED-CROSS. So if you had a home fire and you needed some assistance, the firefighters come, they put the fire out.
Yeah. Define assistance. What does that mean
assistance,
in your world?
Sure, yeah. So our team will come out and do an assessment. So we have a procedure on that and talk with the client. And basically we can offer some financial assistance, just like in the form of like a preloaded card. And that will help them to get a warm meal. If they need somewhere to stay, they can use that money as they please. But we want to provide that assistance
I did
then
not know
and
that.
there to offer comfort and care, basically. And that's part of that.
Yeah, knock on wood, we haven't experienced that, but I've known people that have had everything gone, and you don't realize it. I mean, you don't. I've heard people say, I had like 3 minutes to get out of the house.
Yes.
What do you take? And it's not a rational process. You grab things that have no significance at all because you panicked.
Yeah.
So is there actually any advice you want to share with people who are going through that?
Well, I mean, in terms of preparedness, that's another thing that we teach. We do youth programming. We have different preparedness programs. One thing that I always encourage folks to look into is our Be Red Cross Ready program. You can go to redcross.org and just look up Be Red Cross Ready. That is basically making a plan. So if you were to have to evacuate not only to your own house fire, but also like a wildfire. For example, we open the evacuation centers if that is a need. We opened 5 from last May, through the summer because of wildfire evacuation. So that's like, make a plan. Okay, talk to your family. What's our evacuation plan to get out of our home? Where's our meeting place? Also build a kit. So I've got a go kit at home in case I need to evacuate, and I could also grab that if there was a house fire. It's just got hygiene stuff, the things like you need deodorant and toothbrush and toothpaste.
Stuff you don't think about. Oh my gosh, I need this.
Yep, extra clothes, water. If you have medications, we recommend that you have like 3 days worth of medications in those and a copy of your prescription. That's one thing that our caseworkers and our folks can also help people replace if they lose medications or something like that. We also, another piece on that is like having some extra cash in there, a flashlight, phone charger, just like you can grab it and you can go.
Something else some people don't think about is to grab those walkie-talkies, battery-powered walkie-talkies that have miles of coverage. And then that way, in case something does happen and you do have to separate, you can always get in touch with each other.
Yeah, and just having a plan, basically. I've heard a lot of folks in town. I talked to this one guy once and I was like, you are on it. And he has like this whole plan with a family member that lives across town and somebody else, and they all kind of have some of their stuff saved at each other's houses.
Smart.
So then they could go over there if they were evacuated in their area. So.
It's scary stuff, but I just don't think most people, maybe it's just me, it was on my radar to call. I mean, the brand is so positive and national. Everybody knows, but I just didn't think maybe I'm the only one that didn't realize you would pick up the phone and you had those particular services. So talk a little bit about the armed forces in those services.
Sure,
how does that work? What's your
so
involvement?
Another one of our congressional charters is to support active military members. So we have a couple of different programs. One is called the Hero Care Network, and that basically is emergency communications to deployed military members. If there is something going on at home and they need to, a birth, a death, some big thing, and they need to communicate to their family member, sometimes you don't know where they're deployed.
Do you help find those people?
We help connect with wherever they are to their commanding officer and get the message to them. The commanding officer will give them that message, and then at that point, if that person needs to go home, that's up to the commanding officer, of course.
But you can help
we
find somebody.
Yes.
That's enormous.
And that's the active military member piece. And then we also have another program called Restoring Family Links. That one actually connects folks who have been separated due to a disaster, a conflict, migration, like in different countries. There's a worldwide movement called the International Red Crescent Committee. I think that's it. ICRC. We like our acronyms at the Red Cross. But basically, we work with other Red Crosses in over 190 countries. So if folks are separated for any reason, we can help work with that Red Cross and connect those families. And it could be a written message. It could be a phone message just to say, like, I am alive.
Yeah.
Basically to let the family know. And we've reconnected over 7,000 families in the past year through that program worldwide.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the American Red Cross had an integral part of reuniting people who were separated during 9/11 too. That was a big. I remember because I had some friends in New York.
You did,
and they couldn't get across the river. The Red Cross helped get a message to their family. Hey, they're okay. They're staying in a hotel. But cut all the phone lines down and everything.
Totally.
And so the Red Cross did help out with that.
Yeah. We help people. We want to help.
I like that.
It's pretty simple.
I like that.
It is.
So if there's people listening today, I'm going to put you on the spot. When you're going out talking about your organization and what you do, is there something that is a misconception or something that keeps coming up that you're surprised people don't know or take advantage of? Anything along those lines you want to share?
We're a nonprofit. We're not a government agency. I mean, I think that
a lot of people think you are.
Yeah. We do have a congressional chart. Like that's how we're connected. We can be on military bases. We're
But
the
they don't
only
give you the
people-
money.
No, they don't give us the money.
Let's just cut to the chase.
Yes,
You do great work. They give you a charter, but they don't give you the money. So I'm assuming you need help in donations or sponsors or along those lines.
We do, yeah. So we are fueled by the generous donors that make up the American people, basically.
Great.
So family foundations, individuals, businesses, a great way to help locally is to contribute to the Red Cross.
Well, how can people do that? We have a couple of minutes, and I want to have you join something that our listeners are just at the edge of their seats waiting for, sympathy laughs. But if people are listening,
I'm getting
how
mine
can
ready.
they contribute? See, there are people there, they're just getting all anxious.
Yeah, you can.
Don't go to the restroom, stand by, we're right 2 minutes away.
You could go to redcross.org/give and make a donation. You can designate your dollars to stay here locally in Northern Nevada. So that would be to the local chapter. And that money will go to folks in need, responding to home fires. If we have a large wildfire, please know people, let's be careful in the summertime.
Yeah.
But, and then also we, and that money goes to shelter, food, comfort, and it fuels our programs that we offer for free to the local folks. So also donating blood. Red Cross does not collect blood here in Northern Nevada, but we have other agencies that do. Blood saves lives. So if you're somebody who can donate blood, we encourage that. And the last piece is give back, and you can do that by volunteering for us. You can go on our website and look at the volunteer application and connect with us. You get to work with me. You get to work with other cool volunteers.
So we have a lot of volunteers at the museum. Actually, we couldn't stay open without our volunteers. The biggest thing I get though when I'm talking about volunteers is, hey, I'm retired, or I don't want to commit, or if I sign up, I'm doing something that kind of restricts my time, and we say no. Come up for an hour. Help one event. Do you have the same kind of challenges, people, or opportunities for them to know you can help once in a while? You can be on the list. You can tell us when you're available.
Yeah, definitely. We do. A lot of folks start signing up to volunteer when there is a large wildfire or disaster. They just want to help right away. Yeah. But we are not going to just push people out without having some kind of training. Of course, we want to make sure people are safe and have some tools, right? Sure. So one big thing is if folks want to be ready to help if there were a large disaster here in Northern Nevada, would to do some shelter training and some disaster training. It's like a 2.5-hour course, and you'll be on that list. So if you're someone who doesn't want to commit a lot, that's a great opportunity. But also just depending on skills and background, we have communication volunteers that help us do media stuff. We have board of directors, which I'm always looking for board members. So if someone's interested on that level for strategic planning and fundraising and things like that, we have opportunities. It's just kind of dependent on what they like to do, and we can give them kind of a menu of options and kind of just go for it.
There's a lot of different ways to get involved in an amazing organization. In the last 30 seconds, March is Red Cross Month, so give us a quick overview. And I know we're running out of time, so I apologize.
Oh, that's fine. So we are having an open house in March, on March 21st at our chapter office on Longley Lane, and we're going to have a blood mobile there. We're going to have some different community partners sharing resources, and we'll have some activities and some prizes, and we just want folks to know that we're here in the community. We have all these great programs and resources. We want people to come by, give blood, say hi, and that's just kind of part of what we want to do for March, for Red Cross Month. But that whole month, we want folks to give blood, sign up to volunteer. They can make a financial donation, just something towards Red Cross, because we are the humanitarians in the community.
And where do they go one more time?
redcross.org.
That's an easy one.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to thank you very much. I appreciate that. If you want to stick with me for a couple of seconds, I'm going to just go right into, Terry, we'll go right into our sympathy laughs. And we're running out of time. So these aren't so much sympathy laughs, although Jasmine had kind of said, it really is, Phil. They are kind of pitiful. And I say, I don't care if people laugh at me as long as they're just smiling. This is more of a thought. So I have a couple of questions. Why do people talk their head off, and the minute they walk in the elevator, they stop talking? Just a thought. This is more pondering thoughts. Tell me you haven't noticed that.
I have.
And then the door opens up and everyone starts talking again.
Yeah.
All right. One is, why is it when you can't find a parking spot that you think is going to help you by turning the volume down?
Yes.
Can you relate to that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Anytime I'm looking for something, I have to turn the volume down.
For directions, I'm driving down and the GPS is saying turn right. I got a mile and a half to do it. But for some reason, my mind says turn the volume down so you can really see that exit sign.
Yeah.
Is that something
It's
we can all
true.
relate to?
100%, yeah.
You guys got anything like that you can relate to?
I've noticed just as I get older, then that happens more and more. I'm like, no, I got to think here. Turn it down.
That's for me. If it's too loud, I can't think, and that's a problem.
So I have one more question. Just a thing I just saw on the news. Did you know that Ford is making a new heater tailgate? Did you guys know that?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's so your hands don't burn. I mean, don't get cold when you're pushing it up the hill all the time.
Oh, man.
No?
I drive a Ford.
All right. So those were 3. The last one was weak. The other ones are just food for thought. So if you have something you'd like us to share on next week's show, just things that are observations like you turn your radio down because you're trying to find something to focus, no idea, share it with us. Go down to the museum. Don't forget to use the word Leno and get 50% off today or tomorrow. We're going to take a quick break, and me and Terry are going to come back with some meaningless facts. All right, welcome back, Reno. This is your host, Phil MacDougall, and this show is made possible again by the National Automobile Museum. If you've not been there recently, shame on you. We have a new exhibit every 60 days, and I want to remind you, today specifically, go on down. The Mystery Machine is there. We got Scooby, and we got Daphne and Velma and Shaggy and the cool van, and you get into it, take some pictures of it. We also have Grease Lightning that's going to have a big exhibit opening up next week. We have the Governor. Tickets still available. Probably about 20 or 30 left for Thursday. I'm sorry, for the 3rd of the month. So go on automuseum.org and check out a couple of meaningless facts.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is just points.
I'm ready.
Points. Did you know that Jay Leno, I mentioned earlier in the show, I'm going down there next week. He has over 100 cars, 180 cars and motorcycles. But the most important thing is he drives almost all of them on a regular basis.
Does not surprise me.
And I know that for a fact because I went down there for one of the last shows and I said, what are you doing? And they said they're getting, because all of them turn right on. They have a charger at almost every one of them. They're all registered.
Wow.
And you never know which one he's going to pull out and just drive around in.
He could theoretically drive one every day and not repeat one for over 6 months. That's incredible.
It's an amazing tour. I've been privileged enough to go down, a couple of times and see some of them. And when he tells the stories down to the car that his father first had and how he tricked his father into buying this particular car and brand, and it showed up, his father was furious, but they let his mother and him pick it, and it wasn't what his father thought, but Jay got his first car. Another thing, so we had all of Paul Newman's race cars. People don't know. He wanted to be known as a race car driver. We had all of them. They're all owned by Adam Carolla. They just left recently, but he was a really competitive professional race car driver that raced at Daytona.
Yeah.
And amazing story, very passionate. Jerry Seinfeld, he has the most extensive Porsche collection in the United States.
Yeah.
Valued in the tens of millions.
That's just unfathomable. How do you even insure that?
I can't even imagine.
I don't think
our collection is 250 cars, and I know what that costs to insure.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, another one. Last two. Steve McQueen. Do you know, and this is not a big surprise, everybody knows Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. Great actor. The original, Hollywood superstar.
Escape from Alcatraz.
Yep. The what was it called? The Great...
The Great Escape.
Great Escape,
yep.
Yes. But do you know that he did many of his own driving stunts in the movie Bullet?
I didn't.
The most famous one, he did all of those.
Wow.
He was adamant about making sure no double did it.
Yeah.
Now, he got hurt in a lot of things, but just some cool, meaningless facts I thought I'd share.
I love them.
I loved our guests today, Terry. We had a great selection of guests. They're all very, very passionate about what they do.
Yeah. And it's exciting to see because when you talk to someone who doesn't have passion for what they do, I just kind of tune out. I'm like, well, if they don't believe it, I'm not going to believe it. And they believe everything, and that's good because they should.
And I learned something new every single day. I didn't know that about American Red Cross. Dave shared a lot of things about drag racing, and it's a year long. And I love the whole part about the camaraderie.
Yeah.
And about the team building and that and generational institutional knowledge and just passing on down to his 15-year-old son. Yeah. And it's just a lot of things. And Dean and Sara were here. They're a big part of the community. They've been involved in so many different things that they were very humble, actually extremely humble, because they do much more than they let on.
Yeah, they do.
They do a lot for our community. Every time you see an organization that needs help, they're there. And they are so cool. So check out their Facebook page, the Grocery Outlet in Spanish Springs. You're going to get a kick out of all the costumes they have on. All right, guys. So thank you. Going to wrap up here the last 20 seconds. Terry, good show?
Great show, Phil. It's good to be back. I haven't seen you in a while.
We missed you. We missed you. All right, guys. We're going to see you next week. Don't forget to come down to the National Automobile Museum and visit us this week. Take care now.
You've been listening to What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. For more information about the museum, head on over to our website, automuseum.org. We'll be back next Saturday at 11 a.m. with What Drives Reno on 1060 a.m. KFOY Radio.